I I'm
Okay.
sending Dave. He keeps track of. I'm sending him the Aweber stuff, the login information. I have to do it now, or I'm going to forget. So.
Okay, no problem.
And I'm sending it in our group message.
You know what you should do is, you don't even have to do that. You guys should have a document in your drive that you both access.
We do, and it has password protected, and I can't even, so I don't even remember what the password is to get into the document. So he logs in and changes everything for me.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Okay, I got you then. I was like, yeah, set up a doc, because with me and my clients, we just set up docs that have all the different logins. In fact, that's where I've got all your stuff right now for your website, so I don't have to keep asking you, what's the login? What are the color codes? What font are we using? You know?
Right. And I have that kind of stuff with my clients on the biologist stuff. But I'm just saying today, like, this is our stuff that he needs to update.
Okay, got it. Okay, so here's what you do each time you set up a list. So it'll start to get really normal for you. But up here under current list, make sure that you have the one you're working in selected. So that was the first thing I learned the hard way, coming back over to Aweber. Obviously, you only have one. I'm just showing this for later. When you would click on this, there would be your multiple lists come down in a menu. So obviously, we only have the one. Super easy. We're in our current list. Now let's manage the list. So let's go to manage lists.
Why do you have more than one list?
Because this is just your main list, and that's all. Okay, so you're only going to worry about this main list right now. But later, as you get super comfortable with all these things and you guys are cranking out content, you're gonna have to set up a list for, let's say you're selling an ebook. You're gonna want to set up a list for that. You'll set up a list for a special event. Like, I always set up lists whenever I do my big special free events, because that helps me build my list.
Okay.
So I always talk about email lists like it's one list, but really it's your list, but it's multiple little breakout lists.
So if someone signs up for one of those breakout lists, do you have a way to incorporate them into the main list?
Yes, but that gets super, super, like, that'll give you a headache right now, but later when you get comfortable with this, you can go watch the tutorial or read their article on it, and it won't give you a headache.
Okay.
So
I just want to make sure I had the ability to do that.
You will. And actually, they don't even know they're getting incorporated into that list. I just include multiple lists in the same newsletter type emails. So if I'm just sending a tip or just sending encouragement or just sending updates, there's a way when you go to send that you click on your multiple lists that you want to include.
Okay.
But as far as automation, that's why I believe in setting up the little mini lists, because each auto responder, meaning little emails, follow-up emails that are automatically set to go out, those are so helpful, but those are so specific to the item you're talking about. So in this case, we're talking about your PDF, cheat sheet, or whatever we want to call it. And tell me what you do want to call it, because I really need you to write the copy for the freebie page. Okay, so I don't want to get in here and design your website and write my languaging into your website, if that makes sense. We need your words on the freebie page. So what I'll do is I will give you my freebie pages to look at to give you an idea of how much needs to be written. It's not much. We're talking a couple paragraphs.
Okay.
And you're just saying what you're excited they're going to get from this freebie. Why do they want to sign up for this freebie? That's all you're telling them on the freebie page.
And this is what is going to be sent with this automated email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we're also letting them know, hey, when you do that, you're in our community then, and you're going to be continuing to get encouragement and tips from us on detoxifying your home. So it's not just about that initial PDF, it's about this relationship with you.
So, okay, we need a few paragraphs.
I'll show you a couple links of, I call them templates, but looking at my freebie pages or somebody else's freebie page will give you the idea of what I'm looking for. So let's go to let's go to Sue's. Oops. Let's see what she's got. Her free guide. Let me send this to you in, where should I send this to you, in Facebook?
Sure.
Oh, I'm so goofy. I can be sending you links in the chat. Hold on, let's see. How do I do chat? Here, tell me if you can see chat in a second. That's her freebie page. Okay. So here how we see how we are like, how you start your day matters. It's the foundation for the rest of your day. So in your case, you would write, what's in your home matters to the way you feel. You know, something like that. And then coming down, your morning routine can either be life-giving or life-sucking. Ask me how I know. I want to help you create a morning routine that brings you joy and supports your healthy choices with this free 18-page guide. So in your case, it'd be this free, cheat sheet along with some tips and strategies I'm going to send you, something like that.
Okay.
And then we would ask them a couple questions, see here how she does. What do your mornings look like now? Do you start your day stressed? Do you feel stuck? Blah, blah, blah. And this is where we'll do a cute little screenshot of your PDF. And then the first moments of your day should be something you look forward to. In your case, you'll say, what's in your home now? Do you feel like you have plenty of energy? Are you struggling with sleep or whatever things you're going to target? And then lead into, how just a few minutes of using your cheat sheet is going to change that scenario for them. So use her page as kind of a template as far as just kind of copy the idea, but put in your own words. Okay. And then I'll put a button. Yes, send me the free guide. I'm about to change your buttons today back so that they can be rounded, which is cool. I use rounded buttons on my Fresh Start site too.
Okay.
I think it fits. Okay. So that's what I meant by that. We need that copy so that I can make that page on your site.
Okay, so one of the things I was thinking was not only I gave a list of toxins, but then if you're like me, a lot of people are like, well, what's the big deal with these chemicals, right? And so I wanted to grab some of the most ones that people are exposed to and put yes, okay, so like say parabens. So why is paraben a problem, right? Like I don't want that too much information, or that's what I'm like the triclosan is in so many things under cleaners, that last one. So it's in so many cleaners and it's a carcinogen. And I mean, and the point is, I think what people get overwhelmed is like, oh my gosh, everything causes cancer, and I don't want to make that.
Yeah, you don't want to fear monger.
I do not. I absolutely do not. But what I want to say is, there are healthy options out there that don't include these. So, I think initially when people look.
Oh, go ahead, Dawn. I'm sorry. I'm getting all excited. I have an idea for you. Go ahead.
Okay. Because I think I had a couple of women we had to make and take, and they took this home, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, every product I have to throw away. And I'm like, no. We don't have to do that. And what we're just doing is one step at a time. So I think the list is good. However, I do not want it to be, we do not want to be a fear-mongering site, right? That is the intent.
So here's what I would suggest. Turn this form, take the words you just used, without saying fear-mongering, of course, but anyway, those words you were using, like, hey, it's not that hard. Please don't be overwhelmed. I don't want to bring overwhelm. You need a write-up page before this that shares your heart on this. Hey guys, I'm going to help you do a quick inspection. But first, I want to encourage you. And then you've got 1 or 2 pages of content of you writing, very friendly, like conversationally saying, I'm excited to bring you this awesome cheat sheet, checklist, whatever you're calling it. But before we do, I want to encourage you that this is a step-by-step process that's going to take some time, and I'm not telling you to throw everything in your house out today. Okay? Then you give them this cheat sheet in the center of it. So this is going to be turned into like a free little guide. You could call it your free home wellness inspection guide. And the first 2 pages are encouraging content and introducing you and Dave. Brief, 1-paragraph little introduction of you and Dave. Hey, we've been on this journey, and now we want to share what we are learning with you. Later, when they when they click through to your website, that's where they can read a lot more of your journey. You could even have a click through in here. Then you give them the checklist, and then you give them a couple more pages. Basically, you take this page and finish it. You have a little 5 to 8 page guide here. Okay, so after this cheat sheet, they get a blank sheet maybe where you could give them their first 5 items to tackle. What do you think should be your first 5 that when you go to replace them, so instead of it being about throwing things away that they've spent their money on or whatever, it could be about replacing later with a better choice. Maybe you have a whole sheet with suggested replacements. Some of those could click through to your biologist page.
Right. And a lot of these things I make myself. So
then I think you should also include one of those recipes. One of those recipes. So, hey, I make a lot of these replacements myself. Over the years, I've researched and experimented and found a way to do that and be happy with them, with the quality of them. I'm going to be sharing a lot more about those as time goes on. Now that you've joined our community, you're going to be getting more recipes from me and hearing. But here's one recipe to get you started. Maybe do like a main thing that everybody uses, like a spray cleaner or something that everyone needs and uses.
Right, like take that spray out of your bathroom, right? Like, please take that spray out.
But don't go spend, $20 on this name brand touted natural cleaner when you can make it yourself. So all you're doing then is you're kind of setting us up with the first page or 2. First of all, let us get to know you and Dave a little in the packet, and then encouraging us that this is not, it sounds overwhelming, but you don't want to overwhelm us. You're going to take us through it as time goes on. We're on this journey with you now. We've found you. So we don't have to get all stressed out.
You need a lot more information from us right now, is where we're at.
From what?
You need a lot more information from Dave and I right now, like hard copy stuff.
Yes, I do, but this is why I'm kind of going over this with you. With me being out with the surgery, this is such a great timeline. Like, you guys have time now to be kind of pulling together some of this copy. But we could turn this sheet into more like, between 5 and 10 pages, I would say, which is going to look great. That's going to look great because I'll make an awesome looking cover like I did for Sue. I've done it for Casey. Like, all of us have these free guides that are digital. Look, if you scroll down her page of the link I sent you in chat, you'll see that I even shared little screenshots of a couple of the pages that are in her guide. That'll give you an idea of what to put. Now that you guys know that you want to be boldly faith-based, you could even have scriptural references. You could have encouraging scriptures about taking it step by step, or his word being a light to our path, and that you're not going to overwhelm us with this, but you're just going to take us through it step by step, and we're in this together. We're a community now. We're going to be doing this together. But yeah, I can see how you could pull out an entire little guide from this one sheet you sent me and relieve my overwhelm, help me get to know you a little, reassure me that you're in it for a while. I'm not just getting this little great handout and then I'm on my own. Right. And then, in fact, I'm going to actually send you, I'll ask her permission, but I don't think she minds. I want to send you the template of her ebook, or either hers or Casey. One of them will say yes. And that way you'll be able to see how they do it with like their introduction and how they encourage us into more relationship with them. Like, there's always links in these guides. Okay. So let me figure out which one will let me send it to you, but I will send you the actual e-guide so that you can kind of use it as a model.
And I have to tell you, I think part of the reason this is a frog for me is because when I try to click through those things, it's so overwhelming to my brain. I'm like, I don't like the whole click here, click here, click here kind of thing. However, Dave has gotten us into so many I know they work because Dave is one of those people who, I think that's how he found you, right?
Yes.
Like, so I know this works, but I am not a clicker. And so understanding the concept and how it works for other people and getting them into our organization is good for me.
Yeah.
But my brain following all of links here and clicks here and all.
And I don't mean, no, I don't want to add a bunch of links. I only want the links to be, here's how you can get more connection with us.
Okay.
So we don't want to, we'll probably put a link to your about page because I think that's good because this is where people are getting to know you. The freebie is their first real interaction with you beyond landing on your site. So this is getting them to know you. So you definitely in your introduction, you want to link through to your about page, but then you don't have another link in this guide until the last page where it's your bio. And you're like, here's where you can connect with us further.
Okay.
And
one of the things I think we want to include in this guide is some of these chemicals. I mean, Dave is an environmental biologist. He has to be aware of chemicals that he can be exposed to. And he said some of those chemicals on that list, like what he is explained to do to protect himself. Like, he's like, I would have to wear a complete, if I were going to be working with these chemicals out in the field, he would have to wear complete head to toe gear to protect himself. Yet these are chemicals that are allowed in our home.
You need to include that.
And so those are the types of things. But then again, I don't want it to be fear mongering. We just want it to
so you share that briefly after you've opened us up with Sophie, you've got to help me with them when they do this when I'm on a call, baby girl. So you definitely share that after you've already done the little couple paragraphs of don't be overwhelmed when you go to open up the rest of this guide, because yes, there is going to be some steps we're going to take together, but we're going to do it in a way that works for you and step by step, small changes or whatever it is you guys are going to use. I use that term all the time. It takes people completely out of overwhelm when you use the terms small steps or small changes. We're not going to, I always say in my Fresh Start stuff, I'm not going to come in and fundamentally flip your life upside down. I've just got some small change suggestions. And when we do these things, you'd be amazed at the differences it brings to how you feel. So you've already said that. So when you share things like that, which I think is so important, and you guys can even write this in a way where you're like, Dave, and basically you write the thing where whatever Dave is saying in the packet is in italics. And then whatever you are saying is in normal font. And that you put the name at the beginning. I've seen where couples are doing businesses together where they do that. Or even like I've seen like two women doing things together and they like put their name and then the one person, everything they say in the writing is in italics. So I know that it's Jen talking versus Kristen. Kristen is in regular font. So that would be kind of a cool thing you guys could do in the guide, in your blog posts, any kind of copy you're doing, emails, so that people are always hearing from the two of you. So it could be like, Dave, italics, and be like, when I'm out on the job site, these very same chemicals, I have to wear full body gear. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is just such a cool way to do this. You guys have
You're starting to break up a little.
I'm what?
It's breaking up a little bit, but
oh no,
your verbiage.
Okay, what about
it now? Might be on my end. I live in the country, so.
Okay. Well, let me know.
Okay, but you were saying, so it's cool that we can do part italic. It's coming through now.
Right, and don't be afraid to write these things from first person, because then it's not fear mongering. Like Dave is not coming in like a scientist saying, stand up and make a difference or we're all going to die in 20 years. He's saying, I live this, we're living this journey and we're looking at it from both sides now. Dawn being sick and me being in the field, knowing that these same chemicals, you know, like I love that you guys have that, you're able to have the power of that approach. So don't hold back from that thinking it's going to come across as fear-mongering. Fear-mongering is, in 15 years, this is going to happen because we've done this to our earth. You know, that is fear-mongering. What you guys are doing is saying, do you want to feel better, reader? We care about you. Are you struggling and do you want to feel better, or are you concerned about this because you are aware now? Okay, here's what we know. So that is not fear-mongering. So don't let that hold you back. And by the way, I am open to being your editor till the end of time. If you want to run pieces of content by me and be like, does this hit right with you? Does this trigger any kind of fear stuff in you? Run it by me. Don't hold back from writing it over that. You guys don't have a spirit of that, so I don't feel like you're in danger of doing that, you know? And it's funny because the fear-mongering thing is so
also
big.
I think we need to point out.
Go ahead, girl. Sorry.
And I know I hate that. I hate fear-mongering. I hate we really got a bad connection. I mean, you're starting. It's robotic, like in slow motion. When you're talking.
Okay, let me stop the share, and hopefully that makes a difference. Did it make a difference at all?
It did. Yes.
Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me close out a bunch of screens again. So ridiculous. Okay, talk to me what you were saying.
There's a lot of information we can put into this 8 to 10 page package. But I want to make sure that we're not overwhelming people. So, and I already have a lot of ideas, like the difference between, you know, how the FDA regulates toxins and how the European Union regulates toxins, two totally different concepts. And like in America, the FDA, you have to prove it's toxic before they won't put it in. Whereas in European Union, you have to approve that it's safe before you are allowed to use it, which, you know, like if I don't know if something's safe or not, if I know it's made in Europe, I'm going to buy that product over something made in the USA because of it, which is sad because I'm a big supporter of US companies. But, you know, as far as like the cosmetic industry and that sort of thing, that, I mean, people don't know that.
Well, I don't know that I think what you're giving me right now, honestly, that's a blog post. That is definitely a blog post, actually. Did you guys already send me blog posts? Remind me.
So what I have is, no, we have one posted already on the website. And I know Dave's just like, we got to find 25 minutes. We got to find our 25 minutes to be able to sit down and just finish up and wrap up some stuff, because we do have some other blogs that we can load on there if you want, or just send them to you separately. What would you rather us do?
Load, what do you mean by, oh, you mean load into the site? That's totally up to you, because even if you could load in the draft, which is easier, and then I go in and pretty it up.
Okay.
Our internet is not, I don't know whose end it is, and I don't care. I just want to be able to talk to you, and it's not working. Should we set up a new link?
Okay, we can try that.
I don't know if that's going to make a difference, though, if it's a speed issue. I just don't want to leave it like this.
Unless we just do this, do you want to try my phone?
Yeah, but I need to show you that this screen. We got off of it because we got on the content stuff, which is vital too, because we needed to have that. I'm making like a little to-do list for you to be working, the content to be working on while I'm out, so that when I come back, I just take a day or two and I just finish that baby up, you know? Did you hear any of that?
I heard most of that. Yeah.
This darn internet. Okay, let's close this thing out. I'm going to stop